Hey there. Welcome to Making of a Podcast. I'm Drew Linsalata from Helix Interactive. We are the podcast production and audiobook people, and you can find out more about us online at helix-interactive.com. In this little video series, we are going to walk you through, well, the making of a podcast, just like the title says. We're going to take you from having just an idea for a podcast all the way through the initial production process and launching episode 1 and beyond. But while most people are out there talking about the technical nuts and bolts of podcasting, things like microphones and audio interfaces, we'll get there, but we really want to focus more on the human parts of podcasting, connecting you with your listeners and your potential listeners. Because in the end, that's what's going to make the difference between a podcast that's successful and one that isn't. So we're going to start episode 1 talking about what your message is. What do you have to say? What is your reason for actually firing up this microphone week after week for a long period of time in order to build an audience? Do you have a message? Is it clear in your head? And are you committed to it and passionate about it? You have to know that before you know anything else. In episode 2 of the series, we'll talk about branding and positioning your podcast. What are you going to call it? Is it going to be unique? Is it going to kind of copy what other people are doing already? What is the visual identity and look of your podcast? Because believe it or not, even though people listen to podcasts, a podcast does have a look and feel. We need to think about that too. Then we'll get on to some of the technical nuts and bolts, like choosing a microphone and how to record by yourself or with a guest, and the best way to distribute your podcast. Should it be audio only? Should it have a video component? Do you want to have a website associated with your podcast? Or do you just want the podcast networks to put it out there and let the chips fall where they may? Then we'll go beyond that to other topics like flexibility over time. Are you willing to take feedback from your audience and adjust? Or do you just want to speak and have them listen? Are you willing to crowdsource your topics? If you listen to what your audience or potential audience is saying, it may be good clues as to what you should be talking about in future episodes. There are a ton of important podcasting topics that go way beyond how to plug an XLR cable into an audio interface, and we're going to cover those in this series. Along the way, we will talk to and interview our friend and brand ambassador, Mia Voss. We're going to show you how we worked with Mia to take her podcast from just an idea through the initial production process over several months and to episode 1 and beyond. As of this recording, Mia is about to hit episode 20, and she's doing really well. So it's a good story, and we'll bring her in from time to time to illustrate some of these concepts. We think it'll be useful. We think it'll be covering things that you're not going to hear in other podcasting tutorials. And if you're interested, come along with us, subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the videos, comment below, ask us questions. And if you want to learn more about who we are and what we do, we love new friends. So check us out at helix-interactive.com. Reach out, ask a question. Even if you're not going to hire us to produce your podcast, we would love to try and get you pointed in the right direction. So welcome to the series. We hope it's useful. Let's get going.